Hello there. Today I am going to be talking about what I made in July and just showing you the garments and the alterations that I had to make, and maybe some extra chatting about general stuff, just life. My name is Anita and this is my channel, Sewing Yogi. I had to think then, couldn't remember what I was called. So yeah, today I'm going to be chatting to you about what I made in July. And the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is this particular top here, which is the Etty Camisole by Tammy Handmade. And I love this top. It is so beautiful. I think the scalloped edge on the front is absolutely stunning. Sorry, I just kicked the tripod then. Yeah, so it's got a scalloped edge across the front and it is straight across the back. You can see that, sorry, bra straps, can't get rid of them. And yeah, I love it. I absolutely love this. Now, I had a lovely lady message me when I said I was going to make this, and she'd said that she had issues with it being oversized. So I had already measured the pieces and thought this is probably going to be a bit too big for me. So it's quite wide across here, across the chest. If I'd left it where it was, it probably would have come up about here and my straps would have just been falling off. So I did a gaping neckline adjustment. So all I did was traced off just the top, the bodice here, just make sure I got the side seams in and the front, and then measured how far over I wanted it. So I thought it would probably be about a good centimetre over. I think that's what I've gone with. Or it could actually be a 1.5, I'm not sure. It was 1 centimetre, 1.5, 5/8 of an inch. And then you put your point, I think it's, I can't remember now which way around it is, but you have to move the pattern piece to that point where you've just marked and then pivot the pattern piece slightly and then stick it down and then just trim off all the other bits that you don't need. And you can just see underneath the old neckline, and I've just moved it over slightly. I have lost some off the scallop on the front, but I don't think it makes much difference at all. To do that adjustment, I have the By Hand London adjustment bodice book. It's an ebook. I can't remember the full name of it. But it is such a great beginner bodice adjustment book, in my opinion. So I bought it, I can't remember how long ago, it was a long time ago, and I think I bought it in the sale, but I have used it so many times. They have all the regular adjustments in there, so gaping neckline, a square neck, a square shoulder adjustment, a small shoulder adjustment, a smaller bust adjustment, a fuller bust adjustment. They have various different things in there for all the things that you may need to do for a bodice. I think there's also one for moving darts and, you know, the basic stuff that you would need for a bodice adjustment. So I think it's really, really, really handy and really good. I go to that often. I would also say, actually, with By Hand London, they have their webinar or Zoom classes that you can purchase. They do them live, but then they also give you the option to purchase them after. And I have got two. So I bought the one for trouser adjustments, and then I bought another one for, I think it may have been, I can't remember which one it was now. It might have been, again, another bodice adjustment one. And they are really, really, really good. I think Ellie is an amazing teacher. I just get what she says, and she's really easy to understand, and I love the way that she adjusts things. It's just so quick and easy. I don't really like a lot of the ways that are suggested with certain adjustments. I think they can be quite convoluted, very long-winded, overcomplicated where they don't need to be overcomplicated. I actually have the Palmer and Pletch book. I'll just go and get it, show you what it is. Complete guide to fitting. It's all dusty because I don't ever look at it. I find this so impossible to look at. I don't understand it. Nothing makes sense in there to me. I think it's, again, really overcomplicated. It's constantly cross-referencing to different pages, so you have to jump back and forth, and it never quite gets to the point, and it never actually gives you the actual ways of being able to adjust things in a way that I find comprehensive and easy. And it could just be the way that I learn. It might just be that I'm a visual learner, and I also I just prefer things to be simple. If it gets too long-winded, my brain switches off and I'm just not interested. So I find the by hand London ones really, really easy to follow. I love the way that Ellie Selects explains things. And I did do the trouser one, and at one point I did actually ask a question and she answered it so brilliantly. I think I asked her about because she goes into the tops of the trousers, not like, so I think it was just for the top half. So hips, thighs, she doesn't go into like the calves and anything beyond that. But she does lots of different adjustments in this particular one. And I'd asked about a certain thing that I have an issue with when I'm making trousers. And I'd always thought it was maybe because my bottom's too large or my stomach was too rounded or something or other, and I couldn't fathom it out. She hit the nail on the head and said, no, it's your full thigh that you need to do an adjustment for, and it made some complete sense when she said it. And I understand it now because I do have muscular thighs. My quads are developed because I've always been athletic and done some form of exercise from a very young age. So it made complete sense, and I totally understand everything she said. So if you do feel that you want to have just a little snippet of information regarding certain parts of sewing, there's lots of them that they have on their website. They've done quite a few now, and you can just buy them. I think they're £5, and it is quite a crude sort of basic way that it's done, because it's done through Zoom, and obviously there's technical issues. The sound isn't great, the visuals are probably not great, but for me, I just find them so good. So anyway, that's the end of that, but I just thought I'd tell you about that. That's where I get all my adjustments from for anything, and the bodice is by Hand London. Anyway, so this top I made an 8 on the neckline, and then I graded to a 10 for the chest, and I think I probably could have gone away with just doing an 8 because it's very roomy, as you can see, but I find this fits me much nicer than the Ogden. I love the straight back. I think that may be another thing that I may prefer, the straight back. I love the V back, but I don't think maybe it suits my body shape. I think I'm quite broad across my back, so maybe the straight back is better for me. And apart from that, I love it. It's free. It's a free pattern. It's a great pattern. Yeah, it's brilliant. I think I used about 1 meter of fabric, maybe not even that. You can squeeze one out, I think, of very little fabric. I haven't hemmed this, so I'll just stand back and show you. I haven't hemmed it because I'm waiting till it's cooled down so I can put jeans on and then figure out where I want it to sit. I've got shorts on at the moment. I'm just too hot. So yeah, I've just left it, but I will take it up a little. I think it's a little bit long for me. And then once I worked out how shorter I want it, I will then adjust my pattern pieces, and it's fine to just, you know, make as many as I want to from that point on. And I actually watched the vlog that Rachel from Stitched Up has done. So if you're not familiar with that vlog, I will also link that down below. But she has a little sew along, which is absolutely hilarious because she berates herself throughout the whole thing because the camera angle's not great. But it's just so funny, and she's so entertaining. And she's just great. So yeah, it's a great little sew along, and she actually does the insides differently to how the pattern suggests. So I've gone with the way that Rachel's done it, which is French seamed it inside and then turned under the facing around the whole thing, just to make it look prettier. And it does make it look prettier on the inside. So you have your French seams all inside, and it just makes it look a lot nicer than the way that you are told to finish it in the pattern. Of course, you can do it that way just by straight, you know, overlocking the insides, and it probably would look fine, but I just went with this French seaming just because it's nice in camis, I think, to have French seams. Okay, so for my next make, I said I was going to make the Ellie and Mac classic camisole and camisole top and dress. It's the actual proper title. And I love this so much. It's such a beautiful style and it's easy to make. It looks fabulous and I love it. So at the moment, I think I may have made the front part a bit too small. I did make, which size did I make? So I made the extra small and graded to a small. So I think I might grade to maybe slightly bigger than the small, just for the chest part. But I love it. I'll stand back and show you first and then tell you about all the adjustments I made to it. Okay, hopefully you can see the full maxi length dress. So it has a tier at the bottom and it's right down to the floor. See if I can get you in a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. Yeah, so you can see it's full length and it has a waist tie, so you make the sash, and it's really beautiful and floaty style. I absolutely adore this. I made it in red and white polka dots fabric. What I've made is the version with the elasticated back. So unfortunately, I've just got to adjust my bra a little, so you can't, I just have to sort of mess around with that. Ideally, it's probably worn better with a strapless bra, but I'm not great with strapless bras, so you can see just the elasticated bit around the back here. That is so comfortable. I'm so pleased I went with that version. You can do a V back version, but I thought I'll go with the elasticated just so that I can make sure it fits me okay. And so it's not so bad. I think I can't decide whether I need to go bigger again on this chest area. I think if I had to do the back, the V back, I may have to make it a little bit bigger. And you have the tie here. So if you don't put the tie on, it's quite voluminous and yeah, quite big. So I do think, personally, I prefer it with the waist tie just to cinch it in. And yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. It's the most comfiest dress I have at the moment with all the heat that's going on. And I've worn it loads. I've worn it twice out and about for evenings. And yeah, it's just beautiful. It feels amazing to wear. This fabric, I think, is I think it's called a viscose Moroccan, I think it's called. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I just think it's perfect for this weather and we're having. So yeah, it's a really beautiful pattern. I love making this. It's easy, it comes together really well. It's I actually printed it off from the PDF myself, and I think the PDF was slightly off. So the facing pieces for the front didn't match the actual front, so I had to redraft that myself. Again, it could have been my computer. I made a small chest or a gaping neckline adjustment again for this one as well. Now I think it may be, I'm thinking about it now, I think that maybe it needs to come in just a little bit more, and maybe that's why it's doing this weird thing here where it's kind of like going a bit baggy, because it feels like it wants to stretch out further, as you can see there. So I think I might take it in just a little bit more. I think, let me have a look. I took it in by 1 centimetre on my one half of the pattern, so 2 centimetres completely, but I think maybe I needed to take another centimetre off because it's just slightly pulling to that way, if that makes sense. So that's another thing I think with this pattern. It's drafted for someone with a wider front, is it high bust? Yes, high bust here. So yeah, I removed 2 inches from the whole of the skirt length, and then I took another inch off the actual frill, so 3 inches in total off the whole length of this dress for me. And again, I put my measurements in the description, but I'm 5'2". I made an extra small on this neckline here and then graded to small for the chest. I had to drop the bust dart because it was very, very high, I thought. It was kind of crazily high. So I dropped that down by 1 inch. I'm not sure whether I need to drop it down a little bit more, but I think it's okay. And there it is here. So I think that's probably okay where it is, but it just seemed really, really high up for me. And then what else did I do? Apart from obviously redrafting that front facing, I made the elasticated back version, which I just love because it's so easy to wear. Feels really comfortable, and I mean, it's so baking hot today. It's just perfect for really hot weather. Yeah, so that's it, I think, for this one. It did take about 2.5 meters to make this. So again, I'm shorter, so you may feel, well, you may need a lot more fabric if you want to make it a maxi length for you if you're tall. But I got away with 2.5 meters. I think it's quite a wide fabric. This is 55 inches wide. So yeah, it does take up a lot of fabric. In fact, I did have 2 meters of fabric and I had to go back to the market to see if they'd still got some so I could put the bottom tier on, and they did, thankfully. So yeah, and that's it for that pattern, but I loved it. The instructions are really clear. It's, yeah, easy to make, just so nice to make. I think it's a lot nicer than, again, the Ogden Cami. I think the Ogden Cami, the way that you have to make that, I find really faffy. This one and the Tammy Handmade, much simpler ways of making them. Just, you know, I like ease. I like things that are easy. So apart from that, yeah, I adore this. And like I said, I've worn it out twice. I have actually annoyingly pulled a section here on the front because I was wearing it with a cardigan that has these kind of big jewelled buttons on. And I think maybe when I was taking off the cardigan, it's accidentally pulled. But I have used a needle threader, like, you know, the little needle threaders with a very fine end on, just to push through, get the pull, and then thread it back under so it's gone to the inside, and that's helped. That's worked. So that's a good tip if you didn't know that one for fine fabrics. If you've got a pull, sometimes you can try and push it through with the needle, but it doesn't always work. So if you've got those little tiny needle threaders, you can use that instead. It doesn't make a hole in your fabric if you do it very gently, because it's very fine wire on those things, and you can pull that thread through. So you can't really tell so much. I was just really annoyed with myself. I thought, why did I do that? But, you know, I'd had a few drinks, let's just say that. I'd had a few wines, a few gin and tonics, and probably an Aperol spritz, so that's probably why. But yeah, I've danced like crazy in both times I've worn it. Danced like crazy in it. It's kept me cool, it's floaty. I feel amazing in this. I love it. So yeah, a really good pattern. I definitely recommend it. And so I'll get the next things I made on. Okay, this is my next makes. I'm going to do this really quick because I'm baking. I'm absolutely boiling hot. I can't take the heat. I can't take this heat. Right, so I'm just going to be really quick with this one. Right, the top here's the Rivallo top by Sew Over It. Said I was going to make this, I think, in my plans, and I absolutely love this one. I think I'd already made it actually when I recorded my plans. I've just literally given it a quick iron. That's probably why I'm baking hot. Just absolute nightmare to iron. This was. It's not the nicest thing to iron. You can't get these to go nice and flat now, but I was rushing. I'm sweating. Right, so my Ravello top I have made before, but I made it too short and I had to give it away to my neighbour. Bless, she liked it, so she's had it. She's only a teenager. And she, as I said, crop tops are in, and she's like, yeah, I love that, thanks very much. So she's got that, she's loving it. I made it too short for me. I was like, no, I'm not having that, my stomach out that much. So I made another one, and I basically took it back to its original pattern, and then I've added on another 1/2 inch to the bodice, which I think is probably fine because it fits on my waist. So I'll just show you here. It sits on my waist, It's still probably, you know, obviously short, but that's because this skirt is a little bit big, so it's dropping. It's meant to be up about here, and it's a little loose, so it's dropping. But I don't mind that. I don't mind that little slither of skin there. I can cope with that. No more than that though. So yeah, I have made the neckline, which is a 6, so that it's not too big, because I am quite small across my high bust here. And then I have graded to an 8 for the sleeves, and then a 10 towards the waist. So this bit here, and it's nice, fits me nicely, it's nice and loose. Originally, with the first time I made this, I actually slashed it through the sleeves to make it shorter. So the sleeves I had in the original were much smaller, and I actually preferred that. But then when I looked at it again, I think I made it when I was not that great on adjustments. So I made it again. I put that back in. I thought, oh no, I'll take it from underneath here. So I've slashed through underneath and just extended it down. And I think it still looks fine. It looks okay, even though I think maybe these sleeves are, you know, well, I think they're meant to be, aren't they? They're meant to be quite big and sort of floaty. So yeah, and what else did I do? I made my own bias tape, which was a bit of a disaster because I didn't make it thick enough. So I'd made loads of it with the technique from Sam from Frugalissimo, where you just cut it out of a kind of, I think, a 10-inch square of fabric, which is just amazing, genius. So you don't have to go destroying all your fabric by just taking bias strips out and wasting your fabric. So I made lots of it, and I think I made it to, it was just an inch thick, and when I came to turning under, there just wasn't enough going on there. It would have just looked awful. So what I did was I then reattached some more of the one I had already made, so another inch to the bias tape, so it was like 2 inches wide, and then just cut it down a little bit and then turned it under. So inside it looks a little bit of a hash, a bit of a mess, but you wouldn't know from the outside. It just looks fine. So next time I've put a note here, make your bias binding wider, at least an inch and a half. I think that was just because I was trying to rush it. I had bought some bias tape, but it was cotton, and I think it was being too thick. So I'd seen, I can't remember who I'd seen it say this now, that if you use a really thick or different fabric to what you're using on your main fabric for your bias tape, then it doesn't always work, and you should really just use maybe the same fabric or something that's lightweight, the same as what you're using. And this cotton tape that I'd had, I just thought would have looked really awful and weird stiff. So I just opted to make my own, and then had the whole disaster, but it's fine. It worked out in the end. But I've made a note of that to make that wider. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this. It's a fabric that, again, I bought off the market, which is a really amazing fabric. It's so beautiful and so soft and floaty and drapey. It feels amazing to be in. I love it. It fits me perfectly now. It is slightly sheer, so I have just got a t-shirt bra underneath, a flesh coloured one, which is fine for me. I did try putting on another top underneath, but at the moment that's not happening. It's too hot, so I'm just having it as it is. I'm just embracing it, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, my previous one, I did actually put a little press stud underneath here, because this has a tendency of slipping around and the tie can come undone. So I am going to put a press stud in there just to keep it in line so that it stays there. I've also purchased some tape, dress tape I think it's called, which you stick to your skin, and it just holds these panels in place, because I have worn this out a couple of times on nights out. It does has a little tendency to slip open. I don't want to put a press stud on this on the front, because I do think it makes it look odd, and I have tried it before and you can kind of tell that it's there, and I don't like the way it looks, so I'm literally going to use the dress tape just to stick it to my body so it doesn't move, opting for that one instead. So that's the Ravello top by Sew Over It. Love it, amazing. I've got a top now that I can wear with all the things that I couldn't wear before. So I have some palazzo pants I can't wear and I can now wear. I've got all my maxi skirts that I can wear with this top. I've worn it loads. I just love it. It's really beautiful. I'm going to make some more. It's a really nice floaty top. I mean, even though it's obviously really hot at the moment, it is a little bit hot for this weather, I think. In the evening, however, it's nice because it covers your shoulders and your upper arms. So in the evening when it gets a bit cooler, it's lovely. Yeah, it's a real good staple. I still haven't made the dress version. I am going to get round to it at some point, hopefully before the end of the summer, because I really, really love this. On to the next one, because I'm baking and I want to get this off so I can put something skimpy on instead, is the skirt. So the skirt is, let me just read the bit of paper, Burda style, and it is number 6252. Showed you it before, I'll show you again. I've gone with the longer version here, made it in a viscose so it's nice and soft and drapey. Now there's lots of different things you can do to this skirt. You can add piping to it, you can add pockets to it. There's two versions of a pocket. There's a patch pocket and then a kind of, I'll show you at the back, this kind of style pocket. This one has piping in, which I omitted. You can make a shorter version, which again you can probably use mostly, I think most versions I've seen of this are for corduroy, denim, and it looks amazing in that. So I'm going to make another one of these, I think for a winter or autumn version in some corduroy. I think that will be stunning, really beautiful. I love this pattern, it's amazing. So what did I do to it? So first of all, I made version B, and I used about 2 meters of fabric for this one. Oh, for this one I used about, I think it was about 1 meter. I thought I'd need much more, but I didn't. I squeezed it out of 1 meter of fabric, which is amazing. So, little tip for that one. Yeah, so you needed 9 buttons for this skirt. Bought some off Etsy. Again, I'll put the links down below for this. I removed 3 inches from the whole length of it. And I made the size 10, just a straight size 10. I couldn't find any information as to finished garment measurements because it doesn't give you finished garment measurements in the pattern. Again, I will put my measurements down below, but my waist is a 28-inch waist. And I thought I was going to, actually, I haven't written it down. I was going to measure the actual circumference of the skirt waist, which I will do after and then put along on the bottom, because I think it's interesting that you know this information, because I was trying to find information about how this is going to come up because there's no finished garment measurements. I think it gives you finished garment measurements for the hip. But what good is that? What good is just giving you the hip measurement? I want to know the waist measurement. So that's why I made a size 10, and it's ended up being, as you can see, just a tad too big. But you know, it's fine. I like it kind of loose. I don't mind it sitting a little bit lower than it's meant to. I can get away with it, I think. It doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit skin showing, that's fine. So yeah, I'm a 28-inch waist. I think this comes up at about 33, but again, I'll put that down below just so that you know. And maybe downsize next time. I may go to an 8 or maybe grade between the 8 and the 10, because I do like to have a little bit of room, a little bit of give that, if that makes sense. Yeah, can't get my words out, I'm too hot. So I'll stand back and let you see the full display of the whole thing. Okay, so here's the top, here's the skirt. Absolutely adore the skirt. It's my most favourite skirt I own now because I love the beautiful fabric, the pattern on it, the colour. I love the buttons. If you can see those buttons, they are really beautiful little buttons. I love them, and I bought them on Etsy. I'll stand back so you can see. It's quite a long one. I've just left it long. It's not quite to my ankle, just probably above my ankle, but I quite like that length on me. I don't like midi length. I'm not really good with midi length. I don't think it works on my body shape. I've got quite muscular legs. My calf muscles are quite muscular, and I don't think midi length works for my legs. So I've just gone down just above the ankle, and I think it's beautiful. I love it. It's such a pretty skirt. This is exactly what I wanted for a long time. I couldn't find a pattern that was just right. I love the way the waistband on it. It's just lovely. Like I say, it's a little roomy. Probably could have been a little bit maybe smaller. So you can see there, it's a little bit of room there, but you know, it's a little tiny quibble. I'm not too fussed. And with this top, I think it really works. I mean, it's just like the most amazing combo. I feel really lovely. So while I was making this, Burda instructions are not great. They give you very limited instructions. That's all you get. That's all you get. I mean, it's not a very complicated pattern. You don't get very many images or help or guidance. It was fine apart from the waistband. It didn't explain it very well in my opinion. And I'm trying to think now what it was that I couldn't fathom. And I think it may have been the fact that it doesn't really explain how to attach the waistband. So I think you have two waistbands, one with one interface and then one that isn't, if I remember correctly. I think what I couldn't fathom out is how to actually attach it to the skirt. And I think eventually I worked it out. It had to go the opposite way round to the way I thought it went on, if that makes sense. So if you are an experienced sewer, you will be fine with this. Probably work it out fine. If you're a beginner, I would say it's not the best. You could probably try and get your head around it eventually, but it is a little bit complicated. The Burda patterns are known for not having great instructions. So this is the Burda and the Sew Over It top. I love them. I recommend the pattern for the Burda if you are an experienced sewer. You get a really beautiful skirt out of it. It is oversized, so maybe size down one. That is the Sew Over It top with the Burda 6252. And yeah, really lovely patterns. Both of them, I love them. And I'm going to make them again in different fabrics and just experiment. This top I will definitely make again because I want more colours in this. I might just make a really boring black one, but it will be handy just to go with different things. It goes with jeans, it goes with skirts, it's trousers, it's brilliant. I love it. So for the next things I've made for July, I have already filmed because they were presents for my friend's birthday. And I wanted to give them to her for her birthday, which was in the middle of July. So I did film that already. So yeah, I will add that in now. So I'm just going to show you the things that I made for my friend. Now I've done this early because I'm going to meet her today for lunch and she will receive these gifts. Her birthday was Monday, so now it's Wednesday. No, it's not, it's Thursday. And yeah, so we're going to go and meet her for lunch. Hence me being a little bit dressed up. I have actually got a dress on that's ready to wear. And it's from M&S and it has long sleeves. All the sunny weather has gone. It's now raining and it's quite chilly. So my friend messaged me and said, make sure you wear a long sleeved dress and a jacket because it's quite chilly. So that's why I'm wearing this today. So I thought I'd quickly show you what I made her and then I'll add this into my July makes video. So first of all, I made her a little headscarf and it's the Sew Over It headscarf. I got this pattern, I think at Christmas time, just because I thought it would be really handy for gifts. And I just made it in some blue polka dots, soft fabric. I don't know what this is. It's kind of like a, I don't know if it's, I don't know what you would call this, maybe a very soft viscose Moroccan, I think it's called. And I'd already previously made a skirt in this, so I just thought I had some left and I'd do some do a little headscarf in that, and it's really good actually. It's actually quite complicated to make. Now it could have been because I was tired and I hadn't had much sleep from all the heat. My brain just could not fathom this out. Eventually I did fathom it out. The instructions are not amazing, I've got to be honest. And there is even an Instagram lunchtime sews from Lisa Comfort, and I tried to watch it and I still just couldn't get it. So eventually I did work it out. But yeah, it comes together really nicely. It's really cute. I won't put it on obviously because it's not for me. But yeah, I'm hoping that she likes that. She does wear headscarves, and so yeah, really hoping she likes that. And then also I made her a tote bag. Now this is the Ellie and Mac to go tote bag, I think it's called. And I've previously seen that Ruan from the Yorkshire Slow Girl had made this for her holiday. And I did message her on her Instagram page and say, I love that. I think it's amazing. It's so cool. And so I got the pattern. It's a free pattern. Amazing pattern. Absolutely loved making this. It's so simple and I love the way that they made it, just so goes together brilliantly. It's so clever. I loved it. So I've made it in some cotton fabric, polycotton that I got off from Minerva, and it has ice creams on it. And I purchased some plain polycotton. Now this was actually meant to be red, and again I think I might have been having a mental breakdown and I just chose the wrong colour. But fortunately the orange still goes, so I didn't have time to send this back and get it changed, so I just had to use the orange. I'm hoping that my friend likes this still, but I still think it goes anyway. So yeah, it has a little tie on the top that you can add, and it has a pocket, and then inside it gives you different options of pockets. So you can have a zipped pocket on the outside or on the inside, and I've put mine on the inside. Again, I didn't have the right colour zip because I thought I was using red fabric for the outside, so I've got a red zip, and then so that's why I put it on the inside, so it's not as obvious. I've put one of my little labels on there which says made for me by Anita. And then on the other side, again, I've just put another pocket, just a standard pocket, and it's a nice big pocket. You can put quite a few things in there. I think you can't go wrong with too many pockets in a bag, for my opinion. I love a bag with loads of pockets. So I absolutely love this pattern. I think it's so great. And look at the size of it. It's huge. It's so good. And when I saw Rowan's, I just thought, oh my gosh, that's such an amazing bag. And it's free. So definitely, if you fancy a tote bag, a really big one, and I mean you can stuff loads in this. It's great for, I say, the beach or going on a picnic, or generally just for me, just shopping. Yeah, I just think it's fabulous. I'm going to make one for myself at some point, but yeah, really great pattern. Comes together brilliantly. A relatively quick sew, I'd say. It took me a bit longer because I was generally just faffing and I was really hot, and yeah, it just took me a while to get it done. I've used just a standard blue polycotton for the lining. I bought all these from Nerva at the same time, all relatively cheap fabric. It's all, I think they were like £3.99 per metre for the polycottons. Yeah, I had the last 1.2 metres of the ice cream fabric, which I was really pleased that I managed to grab hold of. So yeah, those are the two things that I've made my friend. I'm really hoping that she likes them. Just tying that tie back up again. I really hope that she likes them. You can have different options as well for the tie. You can use the little metal magnetic clasp if you can get hold of those. I didn't have time to get anything like that, so I just used the traditional tie, which I think is fine. Yeah, and then, you know, you can mix and match with this. You can use different fabrics for, you know, the various different parts of it. So the pocket on the front, or, you know, you could probably just use different fabric for the front and then the back and then the lining. Oh, it's just so clever. I loved it. And it's an amazing free pattern from Ellie and Mac. So get hold of that if you can, and make yourself a bag. So those are the things I made for my friend. So yes, those were the things that I made for my friend, and she really loved them. She loved the bag, and I don't know whether she's used it or not, but yeah, I think she really liked the bag. Now, she really liked the headband that I made her, but unfortunately, a week later, I messaged her to say, did the headband fit? Was it okay? Do you need me to adjust it or anything? And she said she couldn't find it. So she has obviously had a good rummage through everything and come to the conclusion that she accidentally threw it away into the bin. I am not best pleased, I've got to be honest. I'm a bit devastated because it took me a whole day to make, because I'd already made one and it was a disaster, so I had to make another. So it did take me best part of a day to make that headband, and I was really, really pleased with it and thought it looked really pretty. So she thinks that she may have just wrapped it back up. I think I do remember her wrapping it back in the wrapping and then putting it in the bag, and then I think what she said is that she's just thrown the wrapping away and not checked it, and it's gone in the bin. So she didn't even actually wear it or use it or anything. It didn't last a day. It gone straight into landfill, which is another point which is slightly irking me because I don't like the idea of things going in landfill. But I'm hoping in my mind that maybe, you know, one of the workers at the refuse centre saw it, picked it up, thought that'll be a great gift for my wife or my girlfriend, and has washed it and given it to them, and they're wearing it. I'm hoping. But yes, it's just the way that life is, isn't it, sometimes? So yeah, I'm not saying any more about that now. So yes, those are the things that I made in July. I hope you really liked them. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've made. I didn't get round to doing some of the other things that I said I was going to do, which I knew I wasn't going to get done because I had too many on my list last time. So I'm now embarking on some new things for August. I have made one thing already for August, or it's just in its final stages being made. And so yeah, if I can, I will get in a August plans vlog. And yeah, it just depends on my time at the moment. I am just doing so many things, different things at the moment, trying to get new work, get some more money in, etc. So if I can, I will try and get that, squeeze that in, or even maybe even a Friday sews if possible. I know I'm really rubbish with the Friday sews. I just don't get time. I just don't have any, yeah, it's just not enough time. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today. If you did, then please give me the thumbs up. Do all the YouTubey things, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are already a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. And I know that I have had quite a few new subscribers, so thank you for subscribing, and I do hope you can come back and watch more of my vlogs. So yes, I'll see you next time. I hope you're having an amazing time wherever you are, enjoying the sun if you've got some sunshine. If it's winter where you are, enjoy that cold weather. Enjoy the cold weather. Yes, so I shall see you again really soon, and sending you all loads of love as usual. Bye.